What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. We're starting with ToV LFR. After this, we're going to be doing Heroic Emerald Nightmare. So it is starting fresh. You know, we haven't beat Odin or Guarm yet, which is great. But thank you everybody for joining me. Hopefully you enjoy this stream. Again, ToV, LFR, and then Heroic Emerald Nightmare. Let's see, I'm assuming this is my other tank. Yes. So, alright, he doesn't mind taking Heimdall, which is normally what people don't want to tank. It's a little bit harder to tank Heimdall. Not terribly though. Alright, so we're waiting on one more person to run over here, and then we can get this pull going. Again, just sending a few whispers to my other tank, making sure we both know exactly what's going on. It is a Blood DK, who actually a lot of people say are in a bad spot right now, but I think they look okay. Deciding who's gonna pick up Odin first, and his response was, "If you can out aggro me, you can keep Odin." So we'll see. We'll see how that goes down. I think DKs can out aggro warriors. All right, pull ink. Again, let's give the whole raid the back of Helia, just so that they can all do some really good DPS to it. But welcome everybody to the stream. Again, doing LFR ToV and then Heroic Emerald Nightmare following this. Hey Daniel, welcome to the stream. Let's try to soak this up too. Normally I wouldn't recommend the tank try to soak up that damage, but since we're in LFR, damage isn't too great. We can keep that going. We can keep doing that. Alright, they should be leaving, well they leave at 35, so it should happen pretty soon. Our DPS is pretty evenly split. You can see over here on the right hand side, we do have both HP pools. Pretty similar. I don't grind out that much of Legion. It's still relatively fun for me. The only thing that does suck is I used to keep a lot of alts, and this expansion hasn't been as alt friendly as I'd like it to. I just finished leveling up my healer to level 100, so I'm going to be doing that kind of content soon. But something that definitely does get tiring is grinding out the artifact power. I mean, I'm almost done, but that's the thing. It's just taken so long. Let's see if I can... No, he took aggro completely. We are all level 110. This is the last raid that has come out, and this is only for maximum level characters. The next raid comes out probably in about a month, or actually a little bit less. But this is the last raid that has come out. Taunt at 5. Keep Odin around this top rune for the transition. And he taunted off me. again, get another taunt off. Since the damage has been nerfed for ToV, it's a lot easier now. I see that it's a lot easier on healers nowadays. When I just take a glance over at my raid frames, everybody seems a little bit more topped off than before. I don't know why another warrior taunted and he's not even a tank. Alright. Unless he queued up as both and didn't change his spec. But he's not one of the queued up tanks. Honestly, ToV is a lot easier. If I can't find a heroic Emerald Nightmare group, I'll try to jump into a normal ToV and just show you guys. And you'll be able to see here, actually, when we get to Phase 3, Odin's spears hit for nothing nowadays. I mean, LFR was always easier, granted, but... Alright, here we go. Phase 3. Taunt off with the spear. You probably didn't see that DK's HP, but he had a ton of HP left. So look, I'm gonna run over here. Regular heroic leap. I stopped running. Spear. Look at that. I was at 76% immediately after the hit. I mean, when it hits you for less than 30%, you know, that's pretty much nerf. I wish this ground looked a little clearer, I'll tell you that much though. There's a bop even on me. Yeah, that tickles at this point. Yeah, you should be able to do ToV. I mean, even if you're scared and you jump in at normal, ToV is going to be really easy. The only thing that you might ever have issues with is positioning on Helia, because her fight is hectic. It's not as difficult. That is just hectic. But I mean, you saw the damage I was taking there with all those spears. It's not like I was trying to maximize my ignore pains or anything before that. It's really laughable at this point. And if you're 7 out of 7 heroic mode, I'm item level 862 equipped right now, so you guys should be around that level. You'll be absolutely fine walking into normal ToV. And yeah, Daniel, in Wrath of the Lich King, I had a full character sheet full of alts, and I would just, you know, run, what was it, Winter Grasp, and just get like free gear on all of them. I remember having a ton of alts, and this expansion isn't very alt friendly. Mythic ToV is challenging. When you go from normal ToV to just heroic, you get different mechanics. So having to deal with that, like in Odin, in the first fight of ToV, when you switch over to Phase 2, the two Heimdall and Helia also jump down with Odin, so your tanks need to be a little bit better at switching and positioning, because you have two mini bosses as well that they also need to taunt off each other. It isn't just Odin, so it's more of a dance. But with the damage nerf, it should be a lot easier. I honestly would say that everything overall, probably about 5 to 10% easier. Oh, I started playing WoW in vanilla. I didn't raid vanilla. I started playing WoW in vanilla, and then Burning Crusade was around the corner. I played vanilla for a few months, and I hit level 56 the day Burning Crusade came out. I mean, I also was really terrible at leveling up, but I've been playing this game for a while. Mop was when I took the biggest break. I didn't do much in Mop. I did a little bit of PvP, but not really. I don't know how many people are still around that played way back when, even in vanilla. But I used to play a hunter and a ret paladin in vanilla. Then BC came out, and I went holy paladin for my guild at the time. But Roman, if you're honestly doing heroic Emerald Nightmare, you can do normal mode ToV very easily, and you should be able to push heroic ToV. I don't know if you'll be able to just walk in there and one-shot everything. Guarm and Odin are going to be easier, and Helia is just the fact that she's a very hectic fight with ads everywhere. Oh no, you were a holy paladin vanilla. I feel very sorry for you. As a ret paladin, I feel the pain. Paladins were laughable in vanilla. Just go buy your symbol of kings, give me my 5-minute buffs, and then by the time you're done giving everyone 5-minute buffs, you're gonna be doing it all over again. Yeah, stuff like Guarm is relatively easy. Guarm and Odin, I feel, are the easy bosses, and Helia. The thing that makes Helia difficult is the fact that you have so many mobs running around, and if one person on your raid messes up the position, it could just be catastrophic for your entire raid. I mean, I don't know if you guys used to raid in Wrath of the Lich King, but it was like somebody messing up the defilement or whatever it is that he threw on the ground. It would just overcome you. So you need everyone to be on their A game. It just can't be tanks or healers or anything like that. Yeah, Ret Paladins were extremely terrible. I mean, part of the reason why I like them is because they were so different, though. 30-second seals. Oh, jeez. Let me try to get this guy the hell out of this. 30-second seals that you needed to judge, and then when you judged it, it would go away. I mean, back in those days, Vanilla and BC, things were terribly designed, honestly. When you had to rank down certain spells, I remember running rank 1 Seal the Crusader, rank 1 Seal of Command, just in case I was gonna go or I wasn't gonna throw up my Hammer of Justice. It was just terribly designed at that point. Back in the days when hunters had a dead zone that you had to dance around, that 8-yard radius. That was fun though. Dueling hunters like that and trying to dance around the 8-yard zone. Oh yeah, I was a little too late to jump on the wreck bomb party, but that looked like a lot of fun too. Just going hybrid, ret with just enough to pick up the reckoning bomb. That looked like a lot of fun. So something to keep in mind when you're clearing a lot of trash, especially if it's difficult. I know this is LFR, but if you're running something a little more difficult, you should use your cooldowns as soon as you pull the mob, like a demoralizing shout or something like that. Something's going to keep you alive, just because it makes more sense for that cooldown to be applied to more mobs rather than when they're all down and there's 3 of them left. It's going to have a much bigger impact on 8 or 10 mobs that are still wailing on you rather than 3 or 4. So I try to use stuff like Demo Shout or my Armor Trinket, something like that, as soon as the pull starts. And again, here I'm going to whisper the other tank, see who's going to main tank Guarm, who's going to just stick next to the other tank. And a hunter pulled. Great. So let's try to get this in position. Alright, that's not a bad position. Let's jump into purple. Yeah, there's a decent split. All of these meleeers right around Guarm, they need to move. They're gonna, although flashing fangs and LFR difficulty isn't gonna one-shot you. If this was normal heroic, they would definitely be getting slapped around. Yeah, there's a lot of people leaving WoW right now. There's a lot of people that are kind of upset with the way things are. And I can definitely see why. The grind has gotten a lot worse than way back when. Just because way back when it was, hey, I need this piece of gear from this boss. Well, it's a 10 or 15% drop rate, and that was it. If you got it, you got it. If you didn't, you didn't. And nowadays it's, well, it's a 10% drop rate, and then another 5% drop rate on top of that to have a socket, and then another 10% if it's going to be Warforged. It's really, really random. If you want the best gear, you just have to roll the dice over and over and over again. So I can see why people are getting frustrated. That's definitely something I miss, the days of just this boss drops this piece of gear and that's what I need. Let's go do that. I stream for about 2 hours, honestly, so you have time to definitely come back. Let's go ahead and dodge this. And people run into that. People are fearless. It has been nerfed a little bit, but not that much. We do have one person dead already. We have the other tank right in position. I'm going to charge in, get some extra rage. Gives me a free ignore pain. There's my other tank. Flashing Fangs upcoming. He's moving. Oh no. Alright, we got into position before that went off. Go back to the same color. Again, LFR colors don't change position. Grind is part of the game, and kind of like the artifact power, you know, you're always grinding towards that, leveling up your weapon a little bit. And I get it, this game is grindy, it always has been. But I think there's a bit of a difference between grind and RNG. And when you make it that the best piece of gear you can get has to be Warforged and has to randomly have a socket on it, it can get a little frustrating. I mean, hell, I remember getting frustrated back in Wrath. I wanted a tanking trinket from like Halls of Lightning, I think it was. I wanted a tanking trinket from there, and I must have ran it like 50 times, didn't get this damn trinket. And I think it was like a 10% drop rate. So RNG and grind can get a little frustrating, but I definitely I like the Mythic Plus aspect of this game. Mythic Plus is something that I really do enjoy, and I really enjoy Karazhan. I don't get to do it as often as I would like to, but I do enjoy Karazhan. Yeah, nobody liked doing it, but fortunately I was in a guild that really wanted me to get all the gear I needed, and there was that one tanking trinket that I remember was really good until you got to really higher end raids. Right. Yeah, they definitely need to do something to address it. I think 715 is going to help. The catch-up mechanics are a lot better done than they have been. Hopefully 715 fixes a lot of these issues that everybody's having. One thing I do enjoy about Legion, though, is all the secret things that they added. Kazumoth being the biggest one that stands out for everybody. I'm not getting any heals. Let's run over here, see if I was just out of range. Kazumoth being one of the biggest secrets that was out there, and that one was great. But even just like the chest, I know they've been around in MoP and all of the rare spawns. It's really good stuff that they've been adding. That's true too. I think the artifact power system was their way of introducing kind of like quote-unquote infinite levels like they have in Diablo when you have Paragon. I think that was their way of doing that, just keeping everybody on a forever grind. Just because I mean, it has a cap, but eventually you're gonna want to do all your other weapons. And I think the one concern I was having today, looking back at all this, is when they introduce a new expansion, leveling up from 110 to let's say 120 is going to be really weird because there's no green weapons, there's no blue weapons, there's no epics you can get anywhere. You're going to have to go through the AP grind just as part of the leveling up process. So hopefully that's something that's way in the future. So we are about to wrap up LFR ToV. After this, I'm going to jump into Heroic Emerald Nightmare and do that. If I can't find a Heroic Emerald Nightmare group, I'll do normal ToV. I don't know if PUGs have really been doing Heroic ToV. I've seen some of them, but they have a really high item level requirement. That actually would be a really good idea. I mean, the point of this artifact weapon is that we're preparing for the fight on the Legion, right? So we're all playing Legion right now. We're all kind of training to beat the Legion army. So actually getting your weapon at level 1 would not be a bad idea. Yeah, I definitely am not grinding as hard as I was when the expansion first came out. That's for sure. Just because it's, you know, you do so many 3 chest runs and you can't get that damn upgrade. I think this guy with Army of the Dead is gonna. No, we'll be fine. Oh, they pulled. Yep. So again, normally the taunt happens right after the breath. They get that debuff. So here's the breath, and my other tank got the debuff. Taunt off. The only thing you need to do is Taint of the Sea. You need to drop it over here in the corner. If it gets dispelled, if not, it'll go away when that time runs out. There it is. It dropped over there in that corner. We have a breath. Breath incoming in 15 seconds. We have time. One thing I've noticed with a lot of healers lately is cleansing is not part of their itinerary anymore. I don't know why there's such a lack in cleansing recently. There's the breath. Drop it a little bit more in stream. The tank taunted off me perfectly. Switch to the slimes. Alright, go back to DPSing the boss. Oh, kite that Orb of Corruption away from most people. I'm probably going to end up hitting a few. Yeah, I did quite a few 3 chest runs. Alright, we're off to phase 2. I'm going to pick up the Mariner. Actually, is that the other? Alright. So the tank and I whispered each other. We're going to pick up the ads and meet in the middle. Cleave him down. There he is. Okay, let's get a little bit closer to these tentacles. I also want to avoid that AoE from the Grime Lord. As soon as this goes down, I'll taunt when that armor debuff gets on my other tank. For the meantime, just keep getting that Thunderclap off, slowing everything down. Get out of that Sludge Nova. First phase in the water, again, you can always just stay in there. Let me get this guy back over here. Our other tank fell in the water. Not a very good look. But yeah, I definitely feel you with those 3 chest runs. I did a lot and couldn't finish it. I couldn't get another upgrade. I mean, I'm 862 now, and that's only because this trinket 805 is actually one of the best in slot for warrior tanks. So it definitely gets a little frustrating. Oh god, the other tank is here. Nobody's on this Grime Lord. Now get this Mariner back to the middle. The other tentacles... Oh, I think they're all down at this point. Oh no, we have one up over here. I'll let the other tank go and pick up Helia just because he knows I'm busy with this ad. And there he is. He was already tanking it. Looks like we're going to one-shot this, which is great. Here comes another breath. I'm going to have to taunt off. And then we might have an ad coming soon. I'm in US. I'm on the server Terralion. Alright, we have the ad being tanked right by Helia. Perfect. Breath incoming in 5. This other tank is on it. It's always good to get someone who just does it. Alright. Let's get ready for the ad. Generate some more rage there. Alright, we should have the ad coming out. We have a while for another breath. So hopefully he swaps out perfectly with this. Let's get a corrupted breath. We get a good cooldown going, demo shout. And he picked up the ad immediately after that breath. Perfect. And this is Helia going down. One-shotting ToV LFR, which is a far cry from the first time I did LFR ToV. That didn't go along very well. We have a breath incoming in 10 seconds. Hopefully, I'll try to drop it over here again. I'm going to take a little bit more damage from this. There it is. Time to find a heroic Emerald Nightmare group. Hopefully I get some more of these soul fragments. Almost there, 880. Not bad. Thank you, Daniel. It was good for you to join me, and thank you for being active and asking all these questions and chatting it up with me. Alright, let's see. Heroic Emerald Nightmare. Let's see if an AOTC group is existing. Alright, there is one. And it's a brand new, fresh run, so hopefully it goes really well. They are checking for achievements, so let's just link that. I'm running SCADA and Recount right now. I had to use SCADA. I actually really am enjoying SCADA a lot more than Recount, so I might just completely uninstall Recount. You can have multiple windows open, tracking multiple things for SCADA. We're almost done here too. Summons are Ink, Heroic Emerald Nightmare. Alright, so we are getting summoned right now. And we'll be doing Emerald Nightmare Heroic mode. Which actually does have upgrades for me. LFR ToV did not have upgrades for me. But I need to complete that quest, because that quest, we get that nice little item. I really like Victory Rush. Makes taking down easy mobs a lot easier. Spam. For Heroic Emerald Nightmare, there's some groups that are labeled as AOTC, which is ahead of the curve, and that's what they check for. The achievement called ahead of the curve Xavius, which you can still get as long as Nighthold hasn't come out yet. So when Nighthold comes out, that achievement is not going to be attainable anymore. But it's this achievement right here, ahead of the curve Xavius. That's the one that you link them if they ask for it. If it's a curve, if it's a group that's everybody is doing, that everybody in that group has ahead of the curve, it's probably going to be a little bit easier of a run because it means that everybody has done this fight. Something else I've seen is that people that know the fight but haven't gotten the achievement get those fake achievement add-ons. We haven't gotten summoned yet, which is really weird, but let's fly over there. There are people there for summons. Let's see. You get it as soon as you kill heroic Xavius. So even if you do all of the bosses leading up to Xavius, if you don't kill Xavius on heroic mode, you don't get the achievement. Thank you, Connors. Yeah, I've already, you know, messaged Mad Season privately. It was a great little shout out he gave me. I appreciate that a lot. And everybody that has come over from Mad Season show, you guys have been very active in leaving comments and starting a conversation. That's great. I appreciate you guys a lot. I mean, I was filming, you know, one of my regular content episodes that day, and I hadn't looked at my sub count in a while. As I'm rendering the video, I look at my sub count and I see that I jumped up so much. I had no idea what was going on until the first comment saying I came over from Mad Season. Thank you, Mad Max. I really do appreciate it. You guys have been great, you know, great audience. Very interactive, and I appreciate that. I'm going to be coming out with a lot of healing content soon as well. My Tanking Made Easy series is going to continue a little bit slower. I got most of the stuff out there. But if you guys want to see anything in particular, like if you guys want to see me do Arms Warriors or see me do a Mythic Plus and talk about the pulls, whatever it is you guys want to see, let me know. You guys can either message me on YouTube, tweet me, leave a comment, whatever it is you guys want to see, just let me know and I'll keep that as an idea. Alright, we're gonna start clearing trash. I'm glad to hear that my videos do help out. Let's avoid those bugs. I mean, when 715 comes out, a lot of tanking stuff is gonna, well, a lot of warrior tanking stuff is gonna change, so I'll be addressing that. But again, if there's something specific, the stuff that I can tell you is definitely coming is some healing guides and some ranged DPS, because I'm leveling up a druid for healing, and he'll also be a boomkin at the same time. So again, we are in Heroic Emerald Nightmare. Clearing all the trash. Oh, my pommel's down. And when you're running Heroic Emerald Nightmare, you can't do the same thing as LFR when you just pull this whole room of ads. You have to be careful. So as of right now, I don't have another tank in the 100 to 110 area, but I do have experience as a blood DK, so I can definitely do that. And for you fans of Mad Season, you'll be pleased to hear that the rest of my tunes besides this character and my new druid are actually Alliance. I went Horde for this expansion, so I can definitely hop back on my blood DK and do some of that. My monk, I didn't really play too much of Brewmaster monk. I did more Mistweaver, but I can, you know, give it a shot. Start leveling that up on the side too. Yeah, I don't have as many alts as I used to this expansion, but I can definitely change that. Dirty Horde scum! Yeah, I changed over this expansion. A lot of my buddies quit WoW over the years, and the people I really have that played nowadays are actually Horde. Right, as far as I understand Brewmaster monks, you basically have two bars you need to manage, your stagger and your HP, and you need to manage your cooldowns efficiently. You need to basically know how the damage is incoming, when it's going to hit you really hard, when exactly to cleanse off your stagger. We are waiting for one more tank. We only have me right now. 249, very, very easy composition, very straightforward composition. So we should be more than fine with 249. We just need one more tank. Right, well, my understanding of Brewmaster Monks is also that they are the best tank right now, if you know how to play them properly, but that it's the curve is up there, the curve on how to play them. Wow, you have a lot of alts then. How do you keep everybody in competitive gear and competitive artifact power? And yeah, we're just waiting for that final tank. Let's see. Oh, nobody waiting. Nobody in the queue. I did level up my druid that just hit level 100. I leveled that up as a healer and as a tank. And druid tanking seems interesting. It seems definitely a little bit more fun just because your DPS is up there and your AoE DPS is crazy. But I do think I enjoy warriors a little bit more. But I do remember tanking a lot on my DK. My DK was Unholy and Blood. Seven 110s. Wow. I don't even have a second one yet. I'm barely leveling that guy up right now. And it is Dirty Horde Scum. Alright, I think we got... Alright, we got the other tank. We're just trying to get a TV going. Oh, we already have the TV. Oh, wow. So then did you play a lot of WoD? Did you have people just waiting at level 100? Yeah, 715 catch-up mechanic is definitely going to help. So tanks are dropping raw on blue. That's really it. Cool. Let's see if I don't know if I have assist. I do have assist. Alright, ready check. Actually, let me get this food going. Get some haste. Alright, get a slash pull timer going. I like to do 15, gives people time to say, no, no, please don't. Don't. Alright, let's run the boss over to the skull. Alright, rot incoming. Hopefully I get a taunt off instantly. This guy's not even swinging anymore. Alright. Alright, rot. There it is. Taunt off. Perfect. It's like they know what they're doing. I know a lot of you guys are new over from Mad Season Show. Sometimes I get the worst Heroic Emerald Nightmare pugs and we just wipe all the time. I was wondering why I was so tiny, and I think it's because of that seesaw. We got another rot incoming in 1 second. Taunt off, there it is. Drop the rot here in a corner. Perfect. Breath is on the other side. Great. I was always an alcoholic too. It's okay. It's okay, Mad Max. We all have problems. In fact, that's why when I first started playing in Vanilla, I never hit 60 while Vanilla was out because I was an alcoholic. I leveled up a mage, then a warlock, and then a hunter, then a paladin. I tried one of everything except for a shaman, actually. I didn't try a shaman back in Vanilla. We have a rot incoming in 7 seconds. Yeah, you know, there's even an add-on for us called Alcoholic. There's the taunt off. That add-on helps you keep track of all your bag space, everything on your alts. It's okay. The world knows we exist. There's the breath. Gonna have a rot immediately after this breath. So let's just start rotating a little bit. There it is. Taunt off. Perfect. Yeah, I know. So my first character ever was a troll mage, but that was to like level 5, and then I left Horde. Get that taunt off. Another breath. Another heart. Yeah, Cameron, that's why for my next alt, for Legion at least, I decided a Druid, just because I can do a little bit of everything. I enjoy Boomkins and I enjoy Druid healing. I already have my tank here and my warrior. So I can do a little bit of everything once that guy finishes leveling up. But monks definitely do seem fun. I remember leveling one up as soon as they came out. And I tried tanking for a little bit, but I found healing was a little bit better for me at least. Alright, looks like we're gonna get Nethendra down in 1 shot. Only 2 people dead, not too bad. Hopefully we have the DPS for one phase Il'gynoth. That'll be fun. That'll be nice and quick. You tanked Dire Maul in cat form. When you're leveling up, Dire Maul hits hard. I mean, I feel like I was just healing that last week on my druid, and the tanks were getting destroyed. Dire Maul or Dead Mines? Actually, I'm sorry. I don't know which of the two you meant. Oh, there it is. Don't need to use my bonus loot on Nethendra. Yeah, I remember my first Dire Maul run was also, it was fun. Ran in there. You had to run through Westfall, run over there. I had no idea what any of the bosses did. Hadn't read anything, hadn't looked at anything. Oh, that was maybe 2007, probably 9 or 10 years ago. Oh, okay, BC times. BC was a good time. Yeah, because shamans had that a few talents like increased stamina with shield or something like that, right? I remember they had a few talents that specialize in having shield as an offhand. And then you had Rockbiter, which for some reason was like, yeah, we'll just give you a ton of aggro. It'll be great. I never understood the point of Rockbiter if they didn't have a true tanking spec. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. We're running Heroic Emerald Nightmare right now. Fishing for upgrades. Hopefully Iron Jesus is with us today. Let's move into this befoulment. Alright. Let's see if anybody runs into this purple cloud today. Alright. Hopefully nobody runs into it. This trash isn't anything special. The only thing you have to mind is the stomps from the trees and the befoulments, really. Everything else in this trash you can just kind of plow your way through. Speaking of befoulment, someone is down. Oh, I think they died in Nethendra. I didn't do anything about it. So when I do my live streams, I like to do PUGs, just because I get to interact with the chat a little bit. You know, it doesn't require me to focus as much as pushing completely end-game content, looking out for mechanics I've never done before. But in outside of streams, I try to get as high as Heroic. I'm not currently active in the raiding scene in my guild, so I don't push Mythic, but I try to get as high as Heroic. But for my streams, I like to start off with something light like LFR. Heroic Emerald Nightmare at this point is basically on farm for a lot of people, so I'll run that. But I try to keep it with easier stuff so I can keep looking at the chat, talking to you guys, pulling up links, whatever you guys need. I mean, if I were to be live streaming me pushing, you know, Mythic plus 10s or something, I wouldn't be able to look at the chat as much as I'd like to. It would be a very quiet stream. I take this as my time to interact with my audience, answer any questions, just in case they haven't been left as questions or anything like that. Yeah, not a problem. I enjoy answering questions. The reasons why, or the reason why I like making guide videos more so than any other type of content is just because I've, you know, typically been the base of knowledge for some people. Like I have a lot of friends who will be, hey, what do you think of this or what do you think of that? You know, you do a lot of research. Like my last video, I actually did create my own spreadsheet to determine if shield block or ignore pain spamming was better. So I try to be as much of a kind of like an encyclopedia of the knowledge I know. Yeah, I know there was a few comments of that I've gotten in the past few weeks of people saying ignore pain spam is better than shield block. You know, ignore pain. I think a lot of people just see that 90% and assume that it's just going to be a lot better. But ignore pain is finite, you know. I do a max ignore pain for 788,000. When I take that damage, it goes away. I can take that damage in 1 second or in 20. If I take it in less than 6, it's worse than shield block. Mythic Plus, you can actually jump into Mythic Plus without having an active guild. What's your item level right now, Mad Max? Yeah, I mean, you look at stuff like Demoralizing Shout, which is a 20% difference, and that's considered a significant cooldown to use in certain times. If you can just get 16% passively all the time, that's like having a Demo Shout up all the time. Mad Max, you're outgearing me. If that's your, you know, I have 870 in my bags, 862 equipped. You're outgearing me, so you should definitely be able to run. You should look at the group finder, go to dungeons, find a group, and look here for whatever role it is you're playing. I'm not sure if you're tanking, but look for whatever role it is that needs. Do a +2, 3 chest run. So whether I think I have Azuna is probably one of the harder ones if you're trying to run it for the first time. But you can look for HOV. I really enjoy HOV. You can look for Maw of Souls, which is the easiest one. Neltharian's Lair is also another easy one. Just do a +2, 3 chest run, and you can start getting a lot of really good Mythic Plus gear. And those are very easily puggable. A +2, there shouldn't be much in there that kills you, even in a pug. But the difference is, you know, trying to do it in that time frame. Get that corrupted totem. Sure, I can definitely do something with talking about cooldowns. If you jump into the LFR, I mean the looking for dungeon group tool, sorry, and if you look for a carry group, you won't really have to deal with people that are too bad. And it's mostly going to be people that inspect, look for certain item level requirements, and then that's really it. You just jump into a +2 with everybody that's at least 860, and most people that are 860 should know how to do certain mechanics. But I definitely understand tilting when you get really bad groups. I mean, I think we've all been there. And we did get that pull back there. So hopefully they run into the rest of the group. Get on Eltharian's Fury to pick up AoE threat. Get a demo shout going. Connors, to answer your question though, a little bit easier. I like to use Shield Wall as my very last resort, since it cuts all incoming damage by 50%. If I have that going and Ignore Pain and a shield block up, I mean it's crazy. You won't die. And Last Stand I use in the beginning of a fight. If I just know my healer was a little too far, but we'll be fine. We're not gonna go down. We're not gonna die. I'll use Last Stand. Also, a good tip is if you have Impending Victory instead of Inspiring Presence. I mean, if you're pushing content, Inspiring, but I like using that Impending Victory just because you can pop Last Stand and use Impending Victory on top of it, and you get a lot of HP. Last Stand gives you some HP. Impending Victory gives you a percentage of that HP back as a heal. You get a really huge heal off. So if you're ever looking to pop Last Stand, I would wait till your Impending Victory is off of cooldown. Mad Max, you're running a healer? Yeah, I can see why. There's probably some trigger happy people running in there, pulling everything and saying, why the hell can't you heal? Alright, Heroic Ursoc. This is what separates the bad tanks from the good tanks. Friendship. I would definitely start with +2 runs and try to do 3 chests. I mean, once you start jumping into PUG runs that are +8, +9, things start getting a little hairy, and you might start tilting. But a +2 run, even if you can't get it in +3 chest, if you wipe once, you might still be able to do 3 chests. If not, definitely 2 chests. +2 with 2 chests is not that difficult. Also, wait, who's the other tank? Oh, the other tank. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I'm just whispering the other tank, making sure we both know what's going on. But yeah, start off with a +2 run and try to get 2 or 3 chests out of it. I think that'll be the best bet for sure. I don't know how this heroic Ursoc is gonna go. I don't know if this other tank has done this before. Alright, let's get a ready check. Yeah, Connors. Although with your item level, if you're a little bit more comfortable, you can even do +3 chest runs. But I would definitely do that. And I think the large majority of your upgrades at this point are going to be RNG and your weekly chest. Have you been doing your weekly chest every week in your order hall? Let's get a pull going. Everybody was ready. I'm going to take Ursoc first. And he got the taunt off. Perfect. Yeah, I would honestly suggest doing 3 chest runs, but with your item level you can do it at +2 or +3. You can try to push that +3 with 3 chests. Shouldn't be too bad. Having 3 stacks of debuffs on me already. He got the taunt off. Four stacks of debuff. Alright, so this tank is just gonna take the Ren fleshes. That's fine. We can deal with that. Oh jeez. 6 stacks. Alright. Ooh, 7 stacks. I'm gonna have to taunt back. He's gonna get both debuffs. Alright. He's gonna take that. I really need to get this debuff off of me, but he's gonna die. Yep. Oh jeez. He needs to taunt off of one of those. Alright, we gotta reset. Alright. Actually, no, I think the other tank did go down. God damn. Yeah, the taunt was way off. I mean, look at that. Both. Yeah, this doesn't go very well. Actually, we might kill Ursoc regardless. There's no more tanks. So people are just gonna start getting slapped. But with 10%, I mean, geez, this guy's getting... And Rend, he's gonna go down. These healers can keep people up between Rends. This might happen. There it is. Ursoc. I believe Ursoc drops an upgrade for me. Is it just... This neck is a very slight upgrade. Not worth using one of my tokens for. Alright. That was not perfect. Yeah, Connors, honestly, if you do a 3 with +3, I mean a +3 with 3 chests, you're going to get that 6 at the end of it. But you should be able to push. I've been able to, on a PUG, push +7. a mythic +7 on a pug. It was a very good random pug group that I ended up getting, but you should be able to push something a little bit higher, just in case you do want that higher chest at the end of the day. But also doing stuff like this, I'm still farming Heroic Emerald Nightmare, and it still has some upgrades for me. I still haven't gotten them, but you know, there's still upgrades here. So maybe normal ToV is the next thing you should look at. Normal Odin and normal Guarm are easy in comparison to Helia. So if you don't even feel comfortable doing normal Helia, maybe just do heroic Odin, normal Odin, normal Guarm, and just walk away from the raid at that point. Alright, we're getting everybody in here. Let's get that repair going. And my bags are ridiculously full. Let's use up this artifact power. Alright, one step closer to maximizing that artifact power. Connors, are you a healing druid? Or are you also just running as a tank? Yeah, if you don't watch out with this pull on heroic mode, this can wipe you people. And they want to stack. They want to stack for 3 stacks on the dragons and swap at 7. That can be a little bit messy. I'm starting to lose a little bit of faith just because those Ursoc taunts were very messy. Okay, Connors. Well, in your case, since you barely started tanking, I would definitely suggest doing the +2 3 chest runs, just because you have to get used to chain pulling. You have to get used to exactly which mobs. If you already know which mobs you have to pull to get 100% and not overpull too much to kill that much more time, you can feel a little bit more comfortable to push that. But +2 or 3 chests should definitely be your starting point. How many points am I into my shield? I'm almost done. I'm almost done. I just finished this Thunder Crash. I need to do these 3 points. And that's it. After these 3 points, I can just start doing the passive. So I'm almost done with my artifact. So then, Mad Max, do your tanks get stunned? Emeris and Isandre, okay. Alright, so Xavius running to the right. I'll tank Isandre. It's fine. Yeah, so we're going to stack till 3 on this skull. Split up. So the one thing I'm worried about is with these taunts that were happening in Ursoc is the dragons going up and him not swapping correctly. But we'll see. He did whisper me and say that it was his worst fight. So hopefully, on Ursoc that is. So hopefully this goes a lot better. Everyone's ready? Get that pull timer going. That's crazy. You just deal with your tanks getting stunned just because you can heal through it. Something important to do when you stack is face the dragons the opposite way, because they do have the nightmare breath. I've seen a lot of people stack and just keep them faced towards the raid. You don't want that damage to go out. It's very unnecessary. Time to split up. I like this angle here just because I can see which dragons come up and down. Alright. I need to get Leth on, and he needs to take Isandre. He hasn't taken anything. There's Isandre leaving. Alright. So we are up to 4 stacks. He should be up to about the same. Oh, he's up to 6. Alright, we can swap. We should have a switch coming soon. So I'm up to 4 stacks here. And it seems like he wants to swap. It's fine. He's swapping at 5. So that's good to know. Oh, let's not stand in that. Ariel, I gotta pick up this guy. Now I have to keep track of the other tank's debuffs. He should actually be swapping soon, since he's doing 5 stacks. As soon as he starts running to me, I'll taunt over. Because I'm going to be at lower debuffs than him. He's at 6. There we go. Oh yeah, I definitely, I've never picked up Inspiring Presence. To me, that's a talent point that's more aimed for people who have very good communication. So if you're pushing Mythic, see, like right here, I'm at 60%, bam, 80% because of that heal I got. It's more for Mythic Plus to soak up a little bit of that AoE. You know, if you're, not Mythic Plus, I'm sorry, Mythic Guilds. But if you're pugging, it's kind of every man for himself, and the the heal you're gonna get from Inspiring Pres from Victory Rush is gonna be a lot more. I can't tell you how many times that heal has come in clutch as opposed to an extra whatever percentage healing it is on Inspiring Presence. Yeah, Inspiring Presence never cut it for me. And if I was in a Mythic guild, I probably would be running it, but not in this case. It's not necessary. I'd much rather get a Last Stand. Actually, I think I got the upgrade from these guys last time I was here. Oh, it's a ring. Let's give it a shot. Hey! It's not bad. It's a max ignore pain, but I don't need it. And the other tank seems like he does. Where's the other tank? Oh, I can't trade it. Yeah, it also it matters how you see healing. If you're using Scata or Recount and you're talking about healing done also being Ignore Pain, that can damage it. But in terms of Warcraft logs, yeah, Inspiring Presence is going to help out a lot. But honestly, Impending Victory, 15% of your life, and if you pop Last Stand right before it, you're going to get a much bigger heal. I don't know the exact number. I would need to calculate that. But it's a very significant heal, especially if you just overpulled or something, or I don't know if you've seen it. I have a video where I solo a mythic dungeon boss, and the only reason why I can solo that mythic dungeon boss is because of Impending Victory. Yeah, the Maw, whatever his name is, yeah, BRH, first boss. Amalgam of Souls, right? If I remember that correctly. I mean, he's one of the easier bosses to solo. Something else I want to do next is the dragon boss in, what is that? Not in Blackroot Hold. The one that has the eggs everywhere. I'm assuming I can use that for Impending Victory. But since it's the third boss in that dungeon, it's hard for me to get there. Darkheart Thicket. Yeah, that dragon boss in Darkheart Thicket, I imagine I can solo him too, but it's getting there. I would need to kind of pay a group or something to run me there and then leave the group. No, the third boss in Darkheart Thicket is the dragon that has all the eggs next to him, and you can run into them. So if I run that and try to solo it, I would just run into 1 or 2 eggs at a time, pick up the ads, kill them, and get those free Impending Victories. Oh, really? Was it a warrior tank? Alright, so we are going to lust on the second platform. Where's the other tank? Xavier. There he is. Okay. Yeah, I tried running into Blackroot Hold and soloing it on Mythic, and no, the trash pulls wrecked me. And I'm not a Night Elf anymore, so I can't just Shadow Meld. Alright, we're gonna get a ready check going. And get this pull going. So the other tank is on ad duty as a paladin. He should be a little bit better for AoE threat than myself. Dirty Horde scum. Alright. Just keep the movement simple at first, and then when you get the ads, that's when you start running around like a chicken without a head. Alright, the ads go on green. Come on, don't run in there. Ooh, that got very close. Alright, we survived that. I mean, it wasn't pretty, but we did it. I should be a 9-0 still. I used to use Shadow Meld so much. And that was the biggest gripe of why I didn't want to change factions was honestly Shadow Meld. Let's pick up these ads. Let's go over here. Alright, the link didn't really get stressed at that point. We no longer need the link, so let's go over here. Get the Raking Talons aimed at nothing. I don't know why everybody's aimed over here. I'm trying to avoid that. Alright, Gathering Clouds, perfect. Try to sidestep those eggs. We do have one person down. Doesn't look too bad. Alright, let's step on these spiders. Let's pick up the boss. I'm gonna run over to this corner. Whoops, don't jump. Hopefully the taunt happens. Taunt, 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 taunt. Nope, I took both. Alright, let's move this guy over a little bit. Very close to all those tornadoes. We should have lust happening. We do have lust happening. Great. Alright, I'm gonna pop a big defensive cooldown, pop shield wall because nope, the tank is not taunting off me. So it's good to know. It's good to know when I should be popping defensive cooldowns. Oh, the reason the other tank is not taunting off me is because he's dead. He died in the transition phase. Alright. We're gonna have to pop one cooldown every Raking Talon. Nope, didn't work out. Plus armor didn't work out. Hopefully the boss still goes down 20%. They have 3 people down. I don't think so. I mean, I hope so. Yeah, Shadow Meld is definitely awesome. I mean, even just I used to do a lot of PvP too back in the day. And for PvP, Shadow Meld was awesome. It was just great. Alright, this is gun ho time. I am the only tank alive, so I'm going to try to minimize my movement so everybody is on it. Everybody can DPS as much as they can. And just try to stack as much ignore pain as possible. Along with this shield block. There it is. That was a really good B-res. And this group is still really good. Let's see. Actually, that might be decent. I do have another cloak that I'm waiting for, but the other cloak has crit and versatility, which hurts me. Because that's both things I don't really care for. Is there anything else I can get here? I can get this helmet. Let's get another roll going. We're doing good today. We're doing good today. Yay! 27 gold. All right. Yeah, I used to love sitting on lumber mill by myself as a night elf. I would hide on top of one of the trees right next to the flag, and you'd get like groups of 1 or 2 horde that would come in, just thinking they could cap it, and you would just pop out of a tree and wreck them. Thank you. Il'gynoth next. Il'gynoth should go along a lot better than any of these other ones, because the ones we've been doing right now, this taunt off mechanic has really been messing with us, so hopefully this goes a lot better. Thank you everyone for joining me, by the way. We're finishing up Heroic Emerald Nightmare. Let's get a Demoralizing Shout up, just because I don't know who's actually here. That's a nice stun going. Stack the stuns. And let's get all this block. All this block with Neltharion's Flurry. Flurry? Fury. Actually, ever since I went Horde, I haven't been PvPing as much as I used to. I used to PvP a lot as a Night Elf. I probably feel really bad smacking my former comrades. Alright. We have enough people to get this guy down. So, the thing with simulations right now is that there is no good simulation for tanks. Every simulation comes up with different results. For the most part, if it's like a 20 or 30 item level upgrade, I equip it. There's one case here with this cloak, it's 880, I have an 845. That's just me being stubborn. I mean, that probably is an upgrade. But simulations don't do much for tanks for upgrades right now. I find a lot of my information on the Discord for tanks. If you want, I can go ahead and link that for you. You can ask any question there. But the general rule of thumb is 15 item level or more, it's an upgrade. For stuff that's below 15 item level, I go with secondary stats. I am right now haste and mastery as much as I can. So I want my haste to be about 25%, 25 to 30. So with a food buff, and I also run Into the Fray for that specific reason. With Into the Fray and a food buff, I do hit that 25. Let me see if I can get you guys. Yeah, next patch. I mean, these things are gonna be great just because we're all getting nerfed. All right, so this tank wants to tank the right side. I'll go the other way. I'm loading up Discord right now. After this fight, I'll link you guys the tanking Discord if you guys are interested in that. Right, 25 is the bottom of the goal. The high end of the goal is 30%. The reason why 25 to 30 and you have a little bit of variance there is to have that shield block 100% uptime. It helps you get in more revenges for more shield slams to fish for those procs for stuff with heavy repercussions with that 6-second timer of shield block. So 25% is the bottom end of that, 30%. Anything above that, you should switch that out to something else. And these guys hit really hard. Pawn is definitely one of the ones that's up there in terms of simulations, but yeah, like I've said, it's really hard to simulate tanks right now. I know every time I hop into Discord, somebody else throws in something else with like, I ran this simulation, and there's so much debate. One thing that's sparks a ton of debate is trinkets. I am running a level 805 trinket right now by choice. because it's one of the best in slots. So stuff like that, it's hard to come up with the biggest rule of thumb, and the simulations are all over the place. I'll get you guys the Discord link. I haven't used pawn myself though. Normally when I have a lot of these questions, I just go straight for the... Actually, I can try to get this right now. I try to go straight for the Discord. There you go. So that's what I use. That's mostly warrior tanking though, but if you look at the general FAQs for protection, they have a guide for trinkets for every class. Whether you're a druid, a brewmaster, whatever class you're playing, there's a best in slot trinket list. It's a Google document. If you can't find it, I can search for it right after this fight as well. And speaking of this fight, hopefully we one phase it. Alright, let's run in here. With 20% left on this guy, we should be fine. There is another Discord link that I need to get you guys right after this, though. There's a second stack on Savior. Perfect. Again, during this phase, just get my thunderclaps off. Try to do, AoE snares. Keep everybody where they should be. Thank you. I'm glad my channel's addictive. That's the goal. Originally, when I set out to make my channel, I set out to just make as much reference material as I could. Just kind of any question that you could ever have during this expansion, you can just search for it there. So hopefully that's the goal. I'm glad my channel's addictive though. And yeah, Clayton, I have a lot of trinkets that are from Legion, kind of like 850, 855 trinkets, and they're just not as good. This guy right here is from Time Walking, Wrath of Lich King, I believe, and the plus armor it gives is huge in terms of mitigation. All these new trinkets, they don't hold up as well. Right now, I'm also running the Grotesque Statuette, which actually is really good. I do like that trinket. Anything that diminishes damage by a percentage is great. We have more than enough damage to one phase. Is perfect. We don't have to worry about a second phase. Let's try to only get hit by my AoE. Yeah, we don't have to run out of this. And I do believe Il'gynoth has an upgrade for me. Let's see. Yep, this ring. Ring and the relic, actually. One of the relics. Let's roll. Was that one of them? Nope. 10 item level down. Cenarius is next. We're almost done with this heroic Emerald Nightmare run, and I just realized that the music is completely gone. I'm sorry about that, guys. Let's do that. Yeah, what I like more, I mean, if you don't want to have a lot of these abilities, it's very easy to just have trinkets that are stat sticks, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I prefer a trinket with a really powerful ability that's almost like another cooldown. I run into those situations more where I just need another cooldown. It's like, well, my Demo Shout is down, my other trinket is down. I need another cooldown, and that having that on-use trinket is a very powerful ability that I like having. Well, Connors, I'll get you this list right now because you shouldn't have to farm that much for your trinket. I know right now we have Time Walking BC going on. You might be able to get a Time Walking trinket that's better for you, for your tank at least. I know for all the other classes, item level does matter for trinkets, but for tanks, it really doesn't. Time walking events are huge in terms of stuff for your tank. Let's see. Trinkets, here we go. There's the Google Doc for trinkets for all classes. I mean, it's specifically for tanking for all classes. So whether you're paying a druid, brewmaster, whatever it is, that is the extensive. I mean, the people who made this document put a lot of time and love into this to make sure that every class was covered. Yeah, one thing I noticed when playing my druid is that Iron Fur works very differently than Shield Block. You can't get that 100% uptime on it. I do have a link to them in one of my Tanking Made Easy series, right? Alright, so I just whispered the other tank. He's going to be doing ad duty, which is great. Perfect for me. Cenarius duty is a little bit easier. The ideal the ideal situation for Cenarius is 2 to the left, 1 to the right, and another to the left. Hopefully you get him down in 3 phases, but in case you get that 4th one, jump back to the left area. Oh, okay. I wasn't aware that. Like I said, I'm barely leveling my druid, and I'm leveling him up as a healer. So that's good to know that you can get that 100%. Oh, there's people fighting about DPS. We are 248, so we're waiting on a DPS. We have one guy. I didn't become the leader of this, did I? No. Okay. We did have some people leave after Il'gynoth for some reason. Cenarius is relatively easy. Oh wow, you can even keep 2 or 3 stacks 100%. I did not know that. 2 or 3 stacks of Iron Fur is very significant. I know that Druids right now are in a really good place in terms of all 3 of their specs. Druids right now are really good tanks, really good healers, and really good DPS. Yeah, rage from damage taken. Rage from damage taken is such a weird mechanic though, just because the better geared you get, the better avoidance you get punished for it. Well, in this expansion there isn't that much avoidance, but I remember back in the day there was a lot of avoidance you could do, and rage from damage taken was always an issue. The more geared you got, the more nerfed it seemed you got. We're getting a ready check going. We got that last DPS running 249 again. Heroic Emerald Nightmare. We're on Cenarius. After Cenarius is Xavius. So hopefully we have one person who's we're still waiting on, and they're right there. Yep, it seems like they were running. They have an interesting transmog. Look at that. Yeah, they're AFK. Yep. Let's see. We're gonna wait on this paladin, and then we can get the pull going. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's always one in the run, right? There's always one person doing the slut mog. Oh, seems like she's back. And then there's people who do the basic transmog. Alright, waiting on a monk now. Hopefully we get that going. There we go. Alright. Getting that pull going. Pull 15. Let me move him a little bit. Alright, gotta cleanse those wisps. Perfect. I'll let a few more stacks come up. Maybe at about 15 to 20 I'll jump in there. I'll see how much damage I'm taking if the healer can keep up with it. I'll jump in right after this Neltharian's Fury. Alright. Reposition him. Alright. Oh, those ads are down already. We have some good deeps. Yeah, rage generation with the warrior is only tricky just because ignore pain isn't a static ability. You know, it's not 10, 15 rage. Ignore pain is from 20 to 60. It's such a huge gap that let's get. Oh, damn it! It's such a huge gap that if you use things in the wrong order, you're gonna be rage starved. It's just as simple as that. Oh, let's get the hell out of here. So you have to remember to throw your shield block up before you do your ignore pain. The only good thing about the ignore pain being 20 to 60 is that it scales linearly. So a 20 rage ignore pain is going to be a third as strong as a 60 ignore pain, 60 rage ignore pain. So that's the really good part. Something else you'll notice is that I don't run Ultimatum Vengeance. It's, the benefit, I don't argue the fact that it provides a benefit, but the benefit it provides is really, really marginal because you have to do maximum ignore pains at that point. You have to really maximize your ignore pains. I think it's 35 rage and up for that talent point to be more beneficial than the alternative of not having it. Alright, let's run over here. Let's cleanse this. We do need to cleanse ASAP. Alright, perfect. Nope, that didn't work. Alright. You should give some of these trinkets a shot, especially because a lot of them are time walking. Honestly, it's not very difficult to get it. You run time walking dungeons, you run your 5 weekly, and you have enough badges for it. So I highly suggest you try them out. And then just jump into a Mythic Plus or something like that, and test them out. I didn't believe it either, because I had trinkets that were 850 item level, and I was like, really, I'm supposed to equip an 805 blue? But no, it really does help out. I'll show you guys right after this. Alright, perfect. Transitioned. Hopefully we get a taunt immediately after that spear hits. Here's a spear. There it is. Taunt off immediately. I really need to cleanse. Perfect. Here comes a spear. Alright. Get that demo shout up, minimize that spear damage. Perfect. And he's down. And I do believe I have upgrades from Cenarius. So let's check that out. Actually, the helmet, but I won't use a roll on this just because it's not haste mastery. Alright, so the reason why this trinket is so good, actually I just used it, but my armor does 44% reduction, and with that trinket I think I jump up to something like 60 or 60 plus. I mean, you're talking one trinket gives me 15% mitigation. It's insane, especially thinking that it's an 805. My item level right now is 862 equipped, but 871 in my bags. Yeah, definitely IP spamming is not. IP spamming is only great when you have a ton of magic damage. I mean, when the expansion first came out, IP spamming was a lot better. But IP has gone through, I believe, 2 nerfs at this point that have really rendered it a shell of what it used to be. So yeah, this tank hasn't done heroic mode. So hopefully we're fine. Just got some food buff provided by Jeremy in the chat. Oh yeah, I mean if when you're leveling, I mean I recently leveled up my druid, and anytime I saw a tank with 100 rage, I was like, why aren't they using Ignore Pain? They're just taking a ton of damage. But yeah, end game, you know, ignore pain spamming. As an off tank, it works. Like right now that I'm not tanking these guys, build up my rage, ignore pain spam if I need to, just because I'm not going to block anything as an off tank. But as a main tank, when you're taking that damage, shield block is going to help out a lot more. Shield block and ignore pain. And hopefully 715 does even everything out. Just because them nerfing every secondary stat just looks a little scary. I get it, they want eye level to dictate all of our upgrades, but we'll see if we're in the same position. I'm a little scared that everybody is going to be weaker come 715. I might be able to run a +8 or +9 mythic right now, but who knows if in 715 I'll be able to. Let's get those AoE stuns, good Netherian's Fury going. Cleave, keep that shield block up. 2 full ignore pains because I saved up that rage earlier. And the ignore pains dropped instantly. That was 2 of them stuck together. That's 1.5 mil ignore pain. I've gone to the PTR, but I definitely need to go back. Last time I went to the PTR was when I made the nerf video. So I need to jump back on now that there's been a few changes. Thunderclap isn't as bad anymore. It used to be 3 rage, now it's back to 5. But I'll definitely hop back on. I know we got another build of the PTR last week, so this hopefully is one of the last iterations. Yeah, I think last week, right? Like right before Christmas, they dropped a new build. Alright, let's get away from our healer. Let's let him just heal. Alright, start saving up rage again. Not really needed here. We can do a shield block. Don't need to spend all of it though. Alright, time for Xavius. And hopefully we get this going. The other tank has never done this before. I told him to taunt on 2 debuffs and to throw his debuffs in a corner. We do need to get that world marker placed over here though. There it is. Okay. Let me whisper him real quick. Alright, and at this point the raid leader is explaining the fight for everyone. Also, if you guys want another Discord that does general tank chat, the one I linked earlier is a little bit more aimed towards prot warriors. This one's aimed more for all tanks. But the prot warrior one, if you're a warrior, it has great resources. If not, it has the trinket guide, and they also do post some strategies there. They're a lot more active in the warrior one. This one's a little bit more general for everyone. If you want your class specific Discord to join in on that conversation, go to the tank one I linked earlier, and they have links to every single class Discord there. Connors, I actually do enjoy Legion a lot more than WoD. I played WoD for a little bit too, probably about 3 or 4 months. I did absolutely no raids in WoD. I leveled up my garrison. I thought it was going to be super cool. I would log in, do my little Facebook quest every day, but I got really tired of it really quickly. WoD is the expansion I've played the least. Alright, everybody's ready. We're going to get a pull going. But Legion is definitely a solid expansion. Unfortunately, a little too RNG for me, but it's still good. So I have 1 debuff. Let me get 2, and I gotta run. Actually, let's see if he taunts off me as well. Alright, there's 2. I'll whisper him to taunt. Alright, run over here. There we go. Wait for the dispel. Any day now. He has 2 debuffs on him too. Come on. Where's the dispel? No? I'm still waiting for the dispel. Alright, guess I gotta run in. This ad can't just bounce around everywhere. I am the first tank in the dream too, so I have to start soaking puddles and stuff. Yeah, we're not getting any dispels, so the other tank went a little crazy trying to get dispel there. Hopefully we can still get this done. The dispels aren't looking too good, which means that one of us is gonna go crazy. I'm sorry, it's not insanity. This isn't Yogg Saron. It's corruption. That was a big hit. And there's one person going corrupt already. I'm gonna taunt off. Alright, we got the other slime going over there. Let's soak that up. I'm still in the dream, so I can still soak up some of this stuff. There are people fighting! Let's get stack on that meteor. Alright. That was not the best taunt, but it needed to happen. The other tank had 3 stacks. Let's start rolling out some of these cooldowns, because some people are starting to go down. Let's split this meteor. And I don't know why he's moving over there. We should be tanking in the middle at this point. Oh, these people are inspecting each other and fighting in the middle of this fight. Alright. Let's all stack for the meteor. And they're saying it on /S. Alright, he has 2 debuffs. He has 3 debuffs. I have 2. Hopefully he taunts off me now. I need to go drop my debuffs off in a corner somewhere. Alright, good. Let me get that cleanse. Alright, I don't think I'm gonna get cleansed. So let's just run back in here. More deeps. And the other tank went down at this point. Let's start popping some cooldowns. You guys remember 44% up to 61. Oh jeez. Alright, I'm starting to get cleansed. I'm back down to 2 stacks. Oof, that hits hard. When that blackening soul hits. Alright, that was one of my last cooldowns. Oh, the other tank got rezzed. Oh, that's great. I don't have that much corruption, it's just the cleanses have not been very good this run. I still think we'll get it. We have one person down, 15%. Hopefully not a lot of people get corrupted at this point. Very messy. Most legendaries are worth using just based on item level alone. However, if you have something else that's comparable, not every legendary is worth it. Oof, man, let's see if we still get this down. Both tanks are dead, 6%. I think we'll be fine. But most legendaries are worth using just based on item level alone. I mean, I was switching over to arms and trying to test out my arms when I got my first and only legendary. So my only legendary is from arms, but it's such a huge item level increase. It's a 40 item level increase. And I do believe Xavius has nice upgrades for us. Actually, not as much as I would expect. Yeah, no, not really. Definitely not worth using the bonus roll. No reses, alright. Yeah, I got those gloves. I don't. I would need to see the legendary gloves to see what they do with intercept exactly. Since I haven't gotten any legendaries, I prefer not to look, just so that my soul won't be crushed. I didn't. I'm sorry, 8 hooves. I was in the middle of it. I was in the middle of that Xavius attempt. Not even attempt. We actually did get it. We one shot everything. It was a little messy, but we did get to one shot everything. Both ToV, LFR, and Emerald Nightmare Heroic. It was a good day. Normally my Wednesdays don't go this well. Normally midday Wednesday runs are not that great. Alright. Alright, so that does it for this live stream. Thank you everybody for joining me. Thank you for the brand new support from Mad Season Show. I'm glad you guys all joined me, kept it very interactive, and asked a lot of questions. I try to put out content as much as I can throughout the week, at least 3 videos a week, and I live stream every Wednesday at this time. I'm Pacific, so it starts at 11:30 a.m. for me, but you guys can join me anytime I live stream during Wednesdays. But thank you all for joining me. It was a great stream, and thank you everybody. If you want to support this channel, subscribe, leave a like, and spread this. I mean, I see a lot of people re-rolling tanks and they need their fundamentals down, so just spreading my channel around is going to help out a ton. Thank you everyone for joining me. You guys have a good one.